Pop, 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 ba-dum. Oh, I see. I'm putting all my machines together. So today we're going to go through directly to visibility is not optional. And here's why you are missing opportunities, clients, cash, and everything I share with you is my story, right? So that's why I'm very good at what I do with my community, is because I walk the walk, talk the talk, and give me a second. And that's why today I'll share a very specific, shift that I will invite all of you to go through. But first, let me copy and paste the title of our visibility is not optional. Why hiding is costing you client and cash. I need to put that in our title here to make sure that our beautiful community in our group, I always say, you see my post, that if you want to access our free community, and this is where I sometimes give more resources for free, it's in our Facebook group. So I always put a link for you guys to join us in the group. Okay, now I'm live and I want to see, I don't know why my Facebook group doesn't work. So maybe I'm just going to do like last week. I'm just going to share directly to my Facebook group because we have work to do. So if you are with me, let me know, because I always love to see who's watching, who's here. Hello, Well Nurture. And am I live? I am live. Perfect. I'm going to share to the group for those of you who are in the group, because this is where we have a community. And sometimes during the day, I give you challenges. So today we're going to go through action 2 of the Courage to Sell. And I want to first mention that the goal of our live together every week is threefold. Number one, I want to help bring awareness around where you are stopping yourself in your visibility and how it stops, yourself. I had 3 different conversations this week with potential clients, and they all tell me, I want more clients, I want more consistency, and I want more clients. Okay. So how do you get more clients? With social media. If you choose social media as your way of bringing leads, prospects to your environment, to your ecosystem. So that's number one. I'm going to point out some of, the kind of mistakes that I see. Number two, I'm going to show you a few shifters that will help you this week start, approaching your visibility online from another angle, which is from one aspect that is so underestimated. And I still don't understand. Even me, sometimes you'll see what I'm talking about the one thing that I'm going to give you to do every day. Why we don't do it? Why? And number 3, I will be inviting you to join us in Magic with Social Media Love, for those of you who feel ready for this. So first, let's go with, today the title is really about what it is costing you right now in terms of client with your visibility. And what I see a lot is that social media posts are kind of treated in a silo. So people post, but it doesn't there is no bridges with the other parts of your business ecosystem. Meaning, if someone see a post of yours, then what is the next action, for example? And most of the time there is a disconnection between your sales process and your post. So that's I call this a leak. It's a leak, right? The other mistake that I see all the time is the fact that you think you have to reinvent every post all the time, the same, like you have to create new things all the time, when in fact you are spending a lot of time doing this. And the part that I'm going to show you today that really going to change the game in terms of how to reach out to potential clients on using social media. So you're wasting a lot of your time trying to reinvent everything. So that's why when we work together, we have buckets of content that we always hit, and we reuse stuff from the past, right? Knowing that not everybody sees your content, knowing that even if they see it, it takes like, you see different statistics. I know that when I started digital marketing 12 years ago, it was like 7 posts before someone would take an action. That time is over. I think it's between 21 and even so 70 times that they need to see. And that's why omnipresence is important. You need to be kind of bombarded from different places because there are so many people in the market, right? So that's why now it takes more times for people to be exposed to your brand before they even notice you, right? So reinventing the wheel every day can be exhausting, especially if you already have posts that you know worked well or that you can repurpose. Another mistake that I see a lot, where you take a lot of energy out and a lot of missed opportunities, is not talking about what you sell. And if you've watched my TEDx, this is the core of everything in my talk. I explain, that if you have to scroll more than 9 posts and I still don't know what you sell, I will go to someone else, right? So, do you talk about your offers? Is one thing that I see all the time. The fourth mistake that I see all the time is being very quiet about your positioning, about what you believe in, what you stand for, why you do what you do, like being very true to and authentic to where you sit on the bench, right? In your industry. And so for me, the big thing that I scream and scream more and more is that, your online visibility can only exponentially develop itself and make you money at the pace of your inner visibility. And how do I know that? I am the proof of it. My clients are the proof of it. Like, there are things inside of us that are just stopping us. That's not your strategy. And then the number 5 is that I see is that resistance to share more of your story, which is the very unique actually aspect of you as the personal brand, the woman behind the business, that can help me understand where you're coming from and how do we share that common stories. Because, if you look at the world and at humans, we, even if our story may diverge in the circumstances, it's always about, rejection, judgment, abandonment, fear, those fears. Something happened and we got lost, basically. And then, so those stories are most of the time behind our businesses, by the way. And then, because we're an expert at something, we make from that expertise, we open business. And then what happens is that we forget to share the story behind the business. That is the solution you found to solve the problem that you solve for yourself, and that most of the time we share with our clients and we monetize. So those are basically, if you find yourself in any of those resistance, let me know. I would love to hear this. So, as I say, I'm a strong believer, because the trajectory of my business, the trajectory of how I help my clients, really show me that our online visibility can only grow at the pace of our inner visibility. And all of this comes back to, are you feeling safe? And so that's why we talk a lot about the different fears that comes when you are a business owner and you are choosing and deciding with your conscious mind that you're going to use the online world to promote your business, to tell people what you do. Inside of there are so many stories that is like, are you crazy? Who do you think you are? And stuff like that. So it's a tango between, the two side of who we are that is stopping us most of the time. But today I want to give you very tangible actions so that you can shift your behavior online and don't let your mind win. Okay? So if you don't know me, I am Angélique Binet. I am the founder of Social Media Love, and I bring 30 years of experience in journalism as a TV reporter, communication, and digital marketing. I started my career in France, then moved to Canada, where I work for organizations like CBC Radio Canada, and I'm also a paid media strategist for a large public organization. My most public, appearance that you can check online is a TEDx talk. Within 6 months, I wrote a book here. Are You Visible? And a TED talk that was last May 2024. So everything is available online. If you don't know me yet, you can check those out. That will give you a sense of how I work marketing with the women entrepreneurs I help. Women entrepreneurs that I help are either seasoned entrepreneurs and they're plateauing, so they need to discover a new level of who they are to be able to go to their next level, which is in their vision. So we work with your vision a lot. And then I also work with startups like founders, where that most of them had a beautiful career in the corporate world, and then they said, enough of giving 80 hours of my week to someone else's dream. I have my own dream and I want to build the business, right? So I help those women. So they are women of influence, all of them, right? And I have helped dozens of them, and what always come back is the fact that posting on social media always activate a part of them that they never listened to before. And that's why when you work with me, before we even post, we go there. We go there. We identify, number one, where do you want to go? Because if you don't put the destination in your GPS, your car doesn't know where to go. So where do you want to go? Why are you not there right now? What is stopping you? So we audit the business, the sales process, the content, and then I realized in my career that the women I was helping, even when I was giving them and building, co-creating with them the best strategy to go from a post to sales, or to go from a post and building your brand and being seen, heard, and paid, they would not do the work. And this is not because they were lazy. Absolutely not. Stop judging yourself when you're not posting. It's not because procrastination is bad. It's not about this. When you learn how the mind and the body and the nervous system works and how our brain is made, everything becomes clear. So that's what I teach first, so that you can see yourself in a new light and see where you stop yourself in the way you talk, in the way you think about your marketing, in the way what you believe about money, what you believe about showing up, what you believe about asking for the sale, what you believe about saying to the world that you change the world, because you do. Every life you touch changes their life. It took me years to allow myself to recognize this, and that's a biggie. So why should you listen to me? Well, if you have chosen the online world to be a source of leads for your business, it is important, more important than ever, to realize that on that planet of the internet, there is a piece of the marketplace that is for you. There are 5 billion people on social media, 66% of the world population, according to Statista. And that means it's a lot of eyes and a lot of potential clients, right? So let me add this. Now I think you understand. Having a strategy is key, right, for your visibility and your sales. Yes. But your voice is your power. So many of you are hiding behind ChatGPT, behind images that you source, they're not even of you. You are hiding behind posts that are just placeholders, and that feels good because you posted today. And so this is why I want you to listen to me, because there is a way to shift this. And today I want to bring actually 2 specific shifts in how selling using social media will really impact how you show up in your daily actions using your mind, body, and online presence. Okay? So all of you want more clients. All of you want more money. I do too. And all of you have tasted that if you are pushing through without noticing who you are being as you are doing the actions of selling, marketing, promoting, building the sales page and stuff, you can burn yourself out and you can become resentful of your own business or your own clients because you're exhausted. And here's what I've discovered. How many of you have the desire to get clients posting on social media? I'm sure all of you do. And some of you already actually have success doing that. You've learned how to unlock that part of you that feels good to show up, and you've learned to speak to your audience in a way that they understand what you say and that they want to reach out to you. Or when you reach out to them, they're like, yes, of course, absolutely, I want to talk to you. Right? So today I want to share two things, but first I want to kind of give you a story that really, maybe you're going to see yourself in it. Last year, I started to really focus on my local community of women entrepreneurs. And one of the first things that I've done is to really, and listen to this, okay? What is your natural way to communicate with people that is fun and easy for you? Here's mine. I love to hang out with people. My first business was in the food industry, and one of the activities that I was doing was to host bistros. I'm from France, remember? We like our food. So, and everything in my marketing was not aligned with who I am in real life. I'm like, what if I sell organizing marketing events that are fun for me, that are natural for me, it's my gift? So I started to do that. And I can say to you that almost all the clients who came to my Social Media Love happy hour are my clients currently. It was fun for me. It was fun for them. It was easy. I love food and I love my drinks and I love conversation. And that's what we did. So, what is it in your natural who you are as a woman human that it's easy for you to convey your message to others? So, the point of my story is that when I started to do those Social Media Love happy hour events, I wanted everything to be locally sourced: the flowers, the food, the decor, everything. So some of my friends gave me some names, and so I checked them out on Facebook, on Instagram. Some I found easily. Your name on social media, that's another thing. Like if you go by different names, it's complicated to find you, but that's another story for another day. We like our fancy names, but then people don't find you. But okay, so couldn't find, and if I was finding the person that I was referred, I could not find in their feed what they were selling and what it was looking like or taste like or feel like. And then I was scrolling, and that makes me really mad. And that's how actually I open my TED Talk. It makes me mad and sad to see that because of the fear of telling people what you sell and being judged and being scared to be seen as someone who's sleazy, salesy, whatever the word is. That makes me sad because here's what it is. It's a betrayal to yourself. You've built that business from that place of excitement. You have a big dream, and then you let your limiting belief and those imposter syndrome things to stop you right in your track. So that's why I bring that part, the unlocking of the inside out, because it's all of us. All of us. And the more you're aware, the more you open your consciousness to all the possibilities, the more those sneaky way of being comes and are still here. So that's why you always have to open and grow your consciousness about who you are being in this world. So that's my story, and I don't want this for you, because you have a business, you have a dream. Remember, when you opened the business, it was not to be exhausted, it was not to be resentful, it was to help people and be excited to do it. But then marketing, you realize that you need marketing, because if you don't talk about what you sell, nobody's going to know. And if you stop talking about it, people are going to stop trusting you. It's like, I always say, when you build a community online, it's like building a family. So on days you're tired, you're not going to feed the kids. Or maybe what you could do is to have Uber, right? So you could have someone to help you with the content, for example. So when you build a family online, it's no joke. People are counting on you. They trust you, and that's how they buy from you. So that's where, when you become aware of this is when you realize that your mind has a lot to do with how successful and what your reality looks like currently in your business, whether you are already a good, a good, healthy business that wants more plateau, or maybe even tweak the market or bring a new audience or bring a new offer, right? I love that, by the way, if that's something you are looking for help with. So when you know that your mind is more than the algorithm on your results with social media and the online, presence you have, whatever visibility tools you use, everything changes. This is not the algorithm. This is you. And you also have the solution inside of you. So that's why I created the Visible method. And we use Visible as an acronym. V for voice, I for your ideas, please consider them as gold. S, your stories of life that shape the became you build, you're building and growing. Your irresistible offers that are the core. If we don't sell, we can grow the business. And the business needs a lot of cash to run, like, all the tools we use to run the business, but also to serve our clients, to bring the best to our clients, to welcome them, to all the things you do that builds your brand. Actually, it requires cash, right? So all of this to say that the B is for your belief. What do you believe about yourself as a woman entrepreneur, as a marketer, as an influencer online? Because you are. If you're on social media, you are an influencer. And what do you know about what your clients or future clients believe currently? That you're going to help them shift the way they see themselves in the world because of the work you're going to do with them. And then your L is your leadership. What type of leader are you doing? Are you for yourself? How are you leading yourself? How are you leading your relationship with your clients? How are you leading your audience? How are you leading your personal life? Because the way we behave in one aspect of our life has a ripple effect in everything. So that's why we do the work inside, and we talk a lot about you, the personal you, because this is what informs the foundation of your business and its capacity to grow and receive more clients. And it's also my story. This is the last 12 years of my life. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And every next level of me and my business experience it again. But because I am so aware of it, and I am so supported because I hire almost a coach per area of my life, because we don't see what we don't see when we are with the blinders, so I would say it's faster and faster to course correct or to become the woman I need to become each level of growth. So I want to share 2 shifts with you. I'm gonna start with the mindset first, so that when I come with tangible daily actions for your online presence, you understand why you're not doing it or how you can now do it. Okay? So let's do the first shift. I have some notes. I want to keep on my notes because I am so passionate about those topics that I have a tendency to to um to get excited, which is good. But I want to wrap it up so that you have everything you need to help you this week. Okay, so the first shift that I want to teach you is it's how you use your mind, especially when you are doing marketing, and especially the marketing actions that I'm going to give you after this point, in the second shift. So, and why it's important, because if you don't know how the mind works, you won't even consider why you're not posting, if that's one of the things. Or maybe you're posting, but you never talk about your offers, or maybe, whatever is your scenario. So that's why you need to know how your mind works. So that, because people have the tendency to push through and get it done, get shit done. That mentality of pushing. And then you can push for a few years and decades and then look at the number of burnouts, right? So in my world, we don't push. We become aware. And so, and it can go so deep that what's happening is that you're going to notice that behavior in other parts of your business, in sales calls, in the way you interact with the collaborators in your business, the way you show up at networking events, the way you show up maybe on stage if speaking is one of your lead generation, and in your home and with your friends everywhere. Okay, so this is the work we do in Magic with Social Media Love. So I'm gonna just give you one, because we are here just for a few minutes, but it's to give you a sense of how, so that you understand that you are not your mind. You have a mind. You are not your leg. You're not your left leg. You have a left leg, right? And so first, that's the first distanciation. You are not your mind, because your mind is thinking. That's the job of the mind, right? I don't remember. I think I have it here. I think we think over 70 or 80 thought a day, thousand. No, I don't have it here. You should see I have so many posted here of things that brings me back to, oh yes, do this. Okay. So we have so many thoughts, and that's a job of your mind. And that's why, I teach you how to think. And I teach myself every day how to think. For today, I want you to know that you are not your mind. And when you are in Magic with Social Media Love, we go through the mind's law. And then it makes you completely understand why is it that yesterday when someone, reached out to you in the DM, you stopped at, oh my God, the weather is so cold right now. I love your posts. I love what you're posting. And then goodbye, basically. When in fact, there was probably an opportunity to have a conversation with that person, right? So I'm going to share with you is the 3 first laws, okay? The mind always does exactly what it thinks you want it to do. Imagine the impact of this in your marketing. If you are thinking, I am not ready to post this because my sales page is not ready, then you do that a few times, a few weeks, a few months, you're done. So whatever thought that are coming to you when you are in the middle of stopping yourself from being visible is probably related to a thought that is going on. And so that's why I teach you how to observe your thoughts and release the ones that are not serving your growth. And there is a way to do this. Okay? So that's the thing. You can actually tell your mind what to think. Or it will think by default. And we know that by default, especially if you don't do the inner work, it is most of the time always in a lack energy, in fear energy. So it's thoughts that are disempowering. And that's probably why you feel that you're not moving the needle. Okay? Remember, you're not your mind, you have a mind. And so many people don't know that. So the second law I want to share with you is the mind loves the familiar and does everything to keep you the same, because when you go, oh, look at this, when you go to the unfamiliar, it's perceived as a threat for your nervous system. You woke up this morning in worry and in wondering how you're going to get your next clients. And when I am in that phase, I remind myself, I am not my mind. And I teach my mind, it's like a muscle, right? So, but because it's your familiar and it's been like this maybe for 1, 2, 3, or a decade, then your body knows that this is the way you function. So if you change, it will arouse your nervous system. So that's why your minds will always produce, and you read that a lot if you're into manifestation and stuff like that, that your thoughts, the images and the words you say in your mind all the time are a pure reflection. Your reality is a pure reflection of them. So whatever you're not happy with right now in your business is a pure reflection of what's going on here. And that's why, before we do the beautiful strategies and tactics, we start with your mind. It is so important. So important. So that's the shift. I want you to start shifting and considering, what is my mind thinking today about posting, about inviting someone to your next master class or to buy from you or whatever, you go to a networking. Just that, if you can become aware of the thoughts and you can write them down. And I like to write them down. And then at the end of the day, like if you came to one of my events, you know that we have a big ball where we put our thoughts, disempowering thoughts, all day long. And when we do our closing circle, we burn the thoughts that are not necessary. And that's, that's what leads you to growing yourself, your business, your dreams, by selecting every thought. And at first it's exhausting because there are so many. Okay, so that's your first shift, right? And when I started to decide that I would do a TED Talk and a book the same year, within 6 months, my mind was serving me, all the things that would keep me from saying, yes, I want to do this. So I had to really master my mind, number one, to enroll to do this. And then once I was enrolled, my nervous system was completely out of whack, right? Like, who is that crazy girl that's going to write a book and do a TEDx within 6 months? That's how I perceived myself at the time. And then, so it took a lot of working on my mind and my nervous system and the reactions in my body to make it new, make it normal. This is the woman I have. This is the woman I am. I am a woman who shares her voice. I am a woman who loves going on stage and is growing her stage presence. I am a woman who is done with hiding and she wants to write the book of her life so that people see that it's possible for them too. Right? So you become another person through the work of learning how to use your mind in a way that serves you currently. Otherwise, it's going to keep you the same because it's very dangerous to go in the discomfort zone. Okay. The second shift I want for you today, because remember, it's costing you clients and cash. It's what are you doing every day on your when you do, so some of you post every day. I was that person, always very visible but hiding. That's for another day. So um what are you doing every day to engage with your audience? That's my question. Because posting and hoping that someone, number one, gonna see, and number two, gonna say yay, it's very rare. It happens, don't get me wrong, it happens. But you cannot limit yourself and saying you use social media by just posting, or some of you don't even post, right? And it's not to shame anyone, it's just to be aware. Everything starts with awareness, so I'm going to give you a few things that I do every day. And I spend between 45 minutes to 60 minutes doing what we call our visible hour. And it's inspired by different methodology that I built over the years through the coaches I work with, through what works for me, because that's another thing. You can learn from others and see what works for you, not from a place, oh, it's not working for me. Like, you have to do it enough to shape it the way it works for you, right? So that's what I bring. So basically, there is a whole methodology behind it that I teach. But for live, I want to give you the necessary, the 101. Like, make sure that every day you check your DMs. Did someone talk to you? Right now, I'm trying to reach out to a business that I trust. And then I send email, DMs. I haven't done the phone yet. And I'm like, what? They're missing opportunities. I might go to someone else. Check your DMs. Did someone DM you today? And did you respond? I usually give 24 hours, max 48. Depending, but I try to stick to 24 hours before responding to someone, right? Whatever your standard is. Oh my God, I'm going to sneeze. So also, do you check who is liking your post or commenting? And if nobody is interacting, then that's different. You could go and check your stories, because we see who is looking at our stories. So those are little checkups that you want to make sure. I was someone who was never checking my emails. That's another. Some people are email driven. Check your email. Is there an email for you? And you know what? I found out for me that I thought that I was not believing that someone could email me to work with me. So I took for granted that the day someone's going to email me to work with me, whatever your thoughts are, you see where it impacts you. What are the stories you let your mind say that stops you from checking your DM, checking who is liking, checking who is going through your stories, checking who is raising their hands in the comments? And then, do you yourself go to check out people you would like to work with or partner with every day? And be that person you want others be with you. Show interest. Comment, send them DMs, have conversation. Conversation is the key. It's the key. It is the key. Posting to post is great, but you got to do the next step, is to reach out. To reach out for conversation, to reach out, maybe that someone would be a good fit for your programs because you've talked to them or they already attended a workshop of yours or an event. And you reach out to them from that place of love and joy and excitement. I want to make sure that you know that we are starting Magic with Social Media Love at the end of March. And I see you in the room. That's literally what I say to people that I see in the room. Would you be open to exploring this a little more with me? People are going to say yes or no. You detach. You don't make it mean anything about you, but you reach out. So right now, I'll show you. I have like a paper that explains how many person a day I want to reach out for different reasons, either to invite them to Magic with Social Media Love, or to follow up with a conversation, or to ask if they know someone who are needed like podcast or speaker guests, right? It takes you to have conversation. So that's the shift I want you to think. If you're someone who is posting every day, what else do you do after you post it? Number one, do you check if people have interacted with you, whether it's DM stories or comments or email? And then who are you going to be having conversation with today that will bring you potential prospect, or doors could open for you because you're having conversation with this person? But here's the kicker. Your mind's going to tell you, look at you, you're sneaky, right? So this is why it's very important when you do the work to come from that place of, I call this love. The name of my business is Social Media Love for a reason, right? And, even the other day I was calling my bank general office and they said, what's the name of your business? Social Media Love. And then she's like, oh my God, it feels so good. I'm like, great. Love is very important in your marketing. Love towards yourself. Each time we stop ourselves from reaching out to someone that we feel that we want to work with them, and that happens to me so many times, less and less, but it still does, because when you touch your dream, it is outside of your familiar zone, and your nervous system is gonna retract and start. You're gonna start thinking like, ooh, thought that are like, stop, we don't want to change, right? And then you're going to start feeling in your body some emotions that are chemicals that are going to change your chemistry, and then you're going to feel constricted, tired, and suddenly you're going to just vanish, and another day going to come and nothing has changed. So that's why you understand that using your mind and learning how to use your mind in your day-to-day activities online is the kicker. It took me so long to understand that, but now I am even certified in neuro-identity evolution practices so that I can teach you that. So that's why I want to talk to you about Magic with Social Media Love. We start there. We always start there. If you are looking to create new offers, to increase your prices, to kind of reposition your business, change your brand, or grow your brand, or you're starting, I promise you that your mind is not going to leave the fight like this. It's going to stop you all the way. And some of you are going to push until exhaustion. And what if I tell you there is a way where you show up from that place of, like right now, I am super excited to be with you because I know I'm touching someone right now. And I know. So you develop that inner knowing that we all have, that you can call your intuition. You learn how to be kind to yourself and love yourself enough that you don't let your mind stop you from asking for the sale, from posting, from reaching out, from saying the things you really think about your industry and how your approach is different and more effective, and sharing testimonials, sharing how the work you do, your methodology impacts your clients, and you believe that, you breathe it every day, right? Every day. So, okay, it's been almost an hour. I'm going to wrap up. So Magic with Social Media Love is usually a small cohort of women entrepreneurs who have been trying all the things in marketing and sales. They bought the Amy Porterfield, they bought the Tony Robbins, they bought their like all the big names. And then they come here and we start, and they're like, oh, it is so interesting, because the way that I teach you this neuro identity evolution framework that helps you unlock in you your visibility and being capable to project it and offer it to the world is actually stacked in a way that you don't have to learn. You become it. And there is a lot of support from me and my beautiful collaborator, Coach Kim, who is in the trenches with you and I for 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks. And then you get that to change not only your business and your approach to marketing, but for the rest of your life, for the rest of how you live. Your relationship's going to change. So in the next few weeks, you're going to see a lot of testimonials because I want you to hear from the clients who are in it and still are in it and want to continue to keep that work going, because this is the only way to be sustainable. This is the only way to stop pushing and creating content, creating opportunities of selling that are not feeling icky, because they're you. You're finally gonna drop the layers and be you. And maybe you're gonna realize, I don't want to use social media. And that's fine. You do it from a place of choice and decision, right? Because don't get me wrong, we do some social media and sales during that time. We do a challenge. Every week, I give you a challenge, whether it's at the sales level or at the visibility level. And that teaches you and show you what is the gap. And then what happens. And we always start with, intentions. And at the end, a lot of, we do a celebration at the end. And I would say most of my clients reached what they were intending to reach, whether it was a money goal, whether it was a back end building of the business, whether it was personal because they realized that it was not their business that was stopping them from new clients. It was the thing that they were allowing in their life. You ladies, we're not superwoman. We got to make room for us. And that's part of the game too. So every week I give you kind of an invitation to reach out to me. It always starts with a conversation. I tell you, I walk the walk, I talk the talk. Okay. So we always start with a 15-minute conversation. So if you book your call with me before next Friday, the February 21st, and then we have our conversation, and then you are interested in joining us in Magic with Social Media Love, I gift you a content creation strategy session with me that is customized to your business. So it's usually an hour. So that's this week. It is that. The only thing is that you have to book your call with me before midnight, my time, which is Atlantic time, before Friday, 21st. Okay. So how do you book a call with me? Very simple. You DM me Magic, because it's the name of the program, Magic with Social Media Love. DM me Magic, and I'll give you some options for times. Okay. So you book this week. We might be able to meet this week or in the following week. What matters is to book this week before Friday, 21st, midnight. Okay. To get access, in case you decide to join us in Magic with Social Media Love, you'll get access to our beautiful services for free. Okay, I'm gonna go now, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.